Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra. I hope everyone is having a great Sunday, had a great weekend, and is ending up your weekend restful, relaxed, and everything has gone great for you this weekend. And I appreciate anyone that's stopped in during the live review. I also, of course, as always, appreciate Team Replay. Thank you so much, Team Replay. If you have come in to join me during the season 2, the Golden Bachelor review, then this is kind of strange because I kept referring to last week as a supersized episode, and it was about an hour and a half. But I found out after the fact that that episode is kind of an episode 1 and 2. So ABC was calling this one, it also comes on Hulu, episode 3. So this is the second broadcast of it, but it's episode 3, and it's just a regular size episode of Mel and the Ladies. And let's see what we can get going for a background. Just to remind us of the Golden Bachelor, one of the moderators, Cece, called him a silver fox. There we are with Mel and the Ladies. I'm probably going to end up changing pictures because some of the ladies have been sent home, as we know. I'm going to take myself down for a minute so you actually get to see the Golden Bachelor. Mel Owens. Let's see, there is one more layout. Let me get this other layout. Okay, here we are. I'm going to take myself down and then back up. There is Mel with the ladies. The ones that are still there, most of the front row. So let's say from Mel's right, the beautiful black lady with the red lip, heavy lashes, and it looks like a kind of a turtleneck that has like a lot of sparkles on it. Right next to her is Cheryl with her arm under Mel's shoulder. There is Amy, very little blonde, big smile. Peggy was already sent home. Peggy was sent home. That was a 71-year-old. Also is going to factor into this episode right above Peggy with the short haircut. That is Monica B. Monica B is still there. And so I'll just pop back in to start this review with you. If you are here during the live review, thank you so much for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra during this live review. And if you come in for Team Replay, as always, I really appreciate Team Replay. And what I'll do right now, I'll run a banner. So this is just saying that everything on my video is alleged. It's my own personal opinion. There's a copyright disclaimer. It's under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. It makes allowances for fair use, purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Thank you so much. And please like and subscribe. If you're just watching the video, you've not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe, and I would appreciate that so much. So, okay, right now, that right there, that Mel's head is cut off a little bit. You can see what he looks like. That is Nicole with him. Nicole's kind of featured in this episode a little bit. There's a younger Mel. You see where he's giving Rick Fox vibes a little bit, kind of a strong chin right there. That's the younger Mel, also during his player days. So we will go ahead and leave right there. So we leave him up so you see what he looks like. And then I will, let's see, that's kind of too big. I want to make sure you can still see Mel. All right, I'm a little bit over Nicole's face, but I guess that's okay, okay? She doesn't mind horning in on the ladies, and I don't mind horning in on her. So where we start out, remember last week, we had a scene where the ladies had a pool party, and Nicole kind of monopolized Mel's time. The ladies are not thrilled about it. They are talking to her about it. They're talking to each other about it first. Actually, the puppet Carly is the puppet. She's there with Peggy. Peggy is the dark-haired 71-year-old dentist, and Carly got the nerve to talk about it. But that's really Peggy, okay? It's Peggy that was kind of strange. Peggy's confronting Nicole about monopolizing time. We all wanted time with Mel, and you were kind of right in there. Nicole does not care. Nicole is a yoga instructor. She's from, I think, Miami. She's like, well, that's okay. We get a confessional with Cindy saying, I've been cheated on. I don't tolerate Mel pursuing all these women. Cindy ended up on the wrong show. Cindy thought she was on Married at First Sight. Cindy, you're going to have to tolerate Mel pursuing all these women and all these women pursuing him. We wouldn't have the Golden Bachelor. What would I be talking about? So this is a dating show, Miss Lady, okay? Confessional Nicole is saying, I'm surprised the ladies are being so prim and proper. I guess I'll be a pioneer and then they can all follow. So we already know that Nicole has personality to spare, okay? Cheryl is excited. They received one of those cards that's going to give them instructions for the day, telling them what to do. And then he's going to invite someone on a solo date. So they're excited about that. She ends the card with a little quote. It says, "Love doesn't have to be so serious, Mel." And the lady said, "Ah." And then they name all these names. They're calling out the names. As each one gets called, they're like, "Ah," because they're going to do a group date and a solo date. "Ah," they'll call a name. Amy, "Oh." Carol, "Yes." Monica B, "Ooh." Cindy, "Hey." And then all the names are called, and somebody said, "You got the solo date." It's Debbie. Debbie is the 65-year-old fitness instructor. Debbie, let me go. This is a good time to change the backdrop so you can have a look at Debbie. Debbie has never been married. She said her career just kind of got away from her, and before she realized it, she had never been married. So she's 65 years old. This is something that, she's really excited about. She's really pretty. She has one of these looks where okay, Mel's head is cut off, but y'all can see her, Debbie. She has one of these looks like Kate Jackson from, let's say, Charlie's Angels. If you're Gen X, you know who Charlie's Angels are. I'm talking about the original ones. I love the movie, but the movie is not what it is. The original ones, Kate Jackson was Sabrina, the dark-haired one. And then we had another dark-haired one, which was Jacqueline Smith. Beautiful, beautiful lady. I've seen Jacqueline Smith in person at the airport. She's really pretty. And then, of course, Farrah Fawcett. Farrah Fawcett of the hair. A lot of boys had that poster. Her poster even made like a number one movie poster. It was in John Travolta's big movie. Vinny had her poster on the wall. So that was the original Charlie's Angels. Debbie reminds me of Sabrina. She's really pretty. So she's crying that she got the solo date. He wants more time with her. But we're going to start out with this group date. The group date is fun. They're going to roast Mel. They're going to do that at a comedy club. Cheryl's really funny. Cheryl is the dark-haired lady that had the intense story last week. She had a solo date with Mel. Her son was kidnapped. And then later on, as the son got older, he had a relationship with the same father, and the father has passed away. So Cheryl had a story and a half, and Mel was really engaged with her. I think she's going to go pretty far in the process, not just because of the previews, but she gets along with all the ladies. Mel really likes her. So this is exciting that they're going on this solo date. Mel shows up in a green jacket. He looks pretty good. Let me see this original picture that I showed. I think, yeah, this is what he had on when they went to the comedy club. So Mel's in that green jacket. He looks good. He has on those shoes. Yikes. I think he has them in all colors. They look slightly orthopedic, Mel. Why are you talking about 45 through 60 and this kind of stuff? So Mel is in those shoes. He looks good, though. I said they look kind of like a high-end Sketcher, or maybe the OJ shoes. If you're Gen X and you watch the OJ trial, you remember them talking about the ugly A shoes, the Bruno Maglis. So yeah, they're comfort shoes. But Mel's a nice-looking man, and he looks pretty good. Cheryl, we find out, has never roasted in her life, but she's happy to do so. She wants to learn. The ladies are excited to roast Mel. Mel should be a little nervous because they're a little too excited. They're like, oh, yeah, we're going to get to tell Mel what we really think. So he meets them. He claims, I've had a lot of feedback over the years in my career from coaches, from teammates. So ladies, give it what you got. I'm ready. So Mel gives that big smile. Mel has assured them that he's never scared. So we're going to see what's going to happen. He said he can take it. He got thick skin. So there's comedian Jared Freed. He's a young guy. He's 40 years old. He says that he says, I'm 40. I'm the age that Mel wishes you all were. The ladies kind of laugh. The ladies don't like that joke, y'all. They laughing, but this age thing, that's going to get on their nerves. Because I'll point out again, Mel is 66. He wants to date between the ages of 45 and 60. So, okay, Mel. But the ladies laugh. The prize is going to be alone time with Mel for the winner. The loser gets to go out with Jared. Jared said, I don't mind your age. That's Mel. The ladies laugh again. Carol, we found out Carol has left her glasses. Carol is blind as a bat, y'all. She cannot see. She goes around, she goes to production looking for glasses. No, they don't have any extra readers. She goes to the bartender. The bartender says, well, you can try it. Don't do this in the public space. The bartender took the glasses off her face. They're too strong for her. So Carol's like, oh, what am I going to do? Carol just is going to have to work without her glasses. Peggy is saying, Peggy with the puppet, Peggy's a 71-year-old dentist. He deserves to get roasted. She said, we're going to talk about everything that he's talked about us. She said, he deserves to get roasted for his age, those shoes. So Peggy's got one in the chamber, y'all. I didn't know because, well, yeah, I kind of did know because when she showed up with that puppet, Carly slapped Mel. And Mel didn't really like that. So, yeah, I forgot. They already have a history. So Carol can't find her glasses. Let's see. Peggy's too excited about the roast. Comedian, as he's going around, and Peggy's already writing her jokes. He's like, oh, you're the one with the puppet. He tells her to lean into the puppet. I didn't think that was smart. Like I said, they have history. This guy's going to get her sent home. Carol's literally bumping into walls. He picks up her paper and he says, you're in trouble. You don't have anything written down. We're ready to start. Cheryl, who has never roasted before, she said the only thing her family has roasted is marshmallows. She's ready to start. So Confessional Cindy is saying, I hope Mel can take the heat because everyone is ready for him. So all the ladies they're in a line, they're lined up, they all know what they're going to do. The opener is Monica B. Monica B is let me put this other backdrop back up. So if you've just come in here, everyone, you get to see the Golden Bachelor, Monica B. Luckily, I'm not covering her. She's to Mel's far left, above the lady with the short haircut. Peggy's no longer there. Disregard Peggy. She's no longer there. Right next to her is another lady whose name is Andra. Her twin sister was Sandra from last season. Sandra was a standout. So there's Monica B with her tongue sticking out. She opens the show. So Monica B is pretty funny. She says, Mel, you're like a classic car, sexy, strong, and you don't go over 60. Yeah, everybody's laughing. Mel's cracking up. Mel is sincerely laughing. She said, we heard what you said on that podcast, but don't worry. We know you've never been good about recovering a fumble. They showcase Mel. He's laughing, but I don't know. It's not 1,000 watt. He started out with 1,000 watt. It's kind of dimming a little bit like, because she's talking about that football career. Mel didn't love that. He looked a little strained. She says, you're going to need headgear and a mouth guard to keep Nicole's tongue from down your throat. The other ladies laugh uproariously. Remember, we started this episode with everybody kind of up in arms about Nicole getting those kisses. And she got the first kiss, and she was kind of making out with Mel in the pool in front of everybody. And they haven't forgot it. So Monica B says, let me go back to my flight attendant days. I'll show these ladies the exit. They are here and here. And she's doing that thing that they always do before they say bye-bye. So Monica gave a really good stand-up. She was the opener. I didn't see a lot of nerves, but I guess she's used to speaking in front of a bunch of people. She could be on a plane in front of hundreds, giving her the spiel they give you. Mel says, that's A+. He told the comedian, that's an A+. And Monica did do a great job. Cheryl says, I'm ready to knock him down. I've never roasted before, but I'm ready to knock Mel down. Mel should be excited about it. I mean, he should be kind of nervous. But he looks excited. Remember, he liked Cheryl. He had a solo date with her. Cheryl goes out there and says, I'm going to roast Mel down to the ground. She says, you look like you're about 2 minutes away from an airport scooter, buddy. Mel didn't really, he smiled and he laughed, but y'all, that was his TV face. That was his sportscaster face. Okay. She says, it fits that you're from Detroit. You're like a Detroit pizza. Crusty, cheesy, and square. Here's Mel. He's not really laughing. Then we get Peggy up there with Carly. Remember Carly slapped Mel. Carly's the puppet. She says, so let's get on these shoes. I wear better shoes than you, and I don't even walk. The ladies are screaming and laughing. Remember, I told y'all last week, if you haven't watched that review, go in and watch it. Mel is he's in good shape, But being pro retired sports, he's not in great shape. I refer to it as he kind of weeble wobbles, but he doesn't fall down. And then he's got the orthopedic shoes on. So Mel's looking like somebody hurt his feelings to me. Okay. So this is funny. We get Jersey Amy. I'm glad I have this picture up because she's right under Mel with the big smile and the necklace right next to Peggy, who I told you went home. Amy's funny anyway. Amy is a card. She showed up with her twin girls. If you watched the show when it first came on. So someone says Amy's lost her voice. So we'll see what she's gonna do. Amy gets up there and says, I'm gonna do improv. I'm just gonna go, I forget these notes. She says, I can't see, I can't talk, I'm short, I'm old, I can't get my shoes on, my feet are swollen. Mel is laughing so hard, the comedian's laughing. She says, Mel, I'm the only girl that cooks or clean. Hey, girls, who's going to cook for you tonight? They raise their hand. They're laughing. So this is true, y'all? Ooh, who's going to clean for you tonight? They're still laughing. They raise their hand. She said, I'm your mother. So the comedian interrupts at that point. Were you jealous that Amy was getting a lot of laughs? The comedian interrupts her, and he says, I feel like I'm on a call with my mom. Okay, that was cute. That's a little funny. All these complaints. And then I felt like he got a little mean. He starts kind of roasting Amy. And then he turns around and says, Mel, do not marry her. Mel is still laughing. The ladies are kind of laughing. So I don't know. Is Amy talking y'all to death in that house? Because when the twins brought her up, the twins talking about no give backs. So I told y'all Amy was a trip. But I like Amy. We get Nicole in a confessional. She says, I'm confident. The ladies have been kind of up in arms, but I'm confident. She gets on the stage and says, I'm Nicole. I kissed Mel. Amy was appalled and had no words. Y'all can thank me for that. So y'all not going to tease Amy. I like Amy. So Amy, stop cooking and cleaning. If they're going to talk all this junk about you, they're not on vacation. So Nicole, let me see, what other jokes now? I thought her jokes were just okay. I wrote that down, but I can't really think of what else she says. She says, I'm going to do a Mel impression. Roses are red, violets are blue, and I want you, and you, and you, and you. So that is Mel. But y'all, he's a Golden Bachelor. He started out with 20-something a year. You're down to 10 or 11. So he's got to do that. She said, but let me check your IDs first. Here's the AIDS thing. They're all still laughing. So let's see who else. They just go through different little skits with the different ladies. I still liked Monica B the best. I thought Amy was funny as well. But Nicole looked really cute. She had on these wedge shoes and a little short white tennis skirt. Remember, that's the yoga instructor. She has a cute body. She's in shape. So Carol gets up there. She said, he likes to date 40 through 60-year-olds. That's the first thing we have in common. Remember, Carol cannot see. She's no notes. And she was pretty funny, too. She said, he's looking for a younger woman. We're looking for a rich quarterback. Mel's kind of laughing, but again, it's not 1,000. It's not 1,000 watt anymore. And she says, I think that Mel liked it. I don't know. I couldn't see him. Carol's funny. So they put the camera on Mel. They want to know who kind of stood out. The standouts for Mel, he said, Monica B. Wow. Mel's kind of a man of few words. But I like his personality. He said, Roxanne, you were great. I can't remember what Roxanne did, y'all. Amy, wow. So I think Amy's a lot in that house, y'all. I liked Amy. And then he says, well, I'm going to choose Nicole for dinner. I think he's trying to get lucky. I thought Nicole was funny, but she wasn't the best. I'm sorry. I like Monica B the best. So Nicole gets ready for dinner. Her and Mel are out for a romantic dinner. It's just the two of them. And she's saying, I love being around you, Mel. I'm getting tired of it just being, all the ladies. So I relish this time. I want to talk more about what happened in your marriage. So she says she wants the conversation to flow, but she's going to ask questions. She's going to lead with questions and kind of just go deep. Excuse me. So they're talking over dinner. And she starts asking these pointed questions about, how did you meet your wife? Who ended it? Mel he's talking, but Nicole's talking over him a lot too, but she's getting all her questions in. He's getting all the answers out. So I'll just let you know what he said during the notes. She says she's a two-time divorcee. She doesn't see the divorces as a failure anymore. She just wants one more forever. So what's Mel's story? He's giving the story. Mel says, well, she was younger. How much younger, Mel? I wanted to know. She was younger. The marriage lasted 25 years, but she just decided because she's younger, she wants other experiences. Welcome in, CC. This is my moderator, CC. And she was in here last week when we were having fun talking about Mel. Mel's on a date with Nicole. Nicole was the one that was kissing him in the pool last week. The lady started out with an issue about it. I think they still have an issue. So he's saying he was with his wife 25 years and she wanted more experiences because she was younger. I think he alluded to before or even said she left him and she may have found someone else. I'm not sure. Cece let us know last week that his wife was Brazilian. She has a high-powered career now. So this is really interesting. Thank you so much, Cece. Please hit the like button and subscribe. So Nicole was saying, you didn't want it? Mel lets us know, no, the wife initiated. I heard something about 70-something to 80% of women are the ones that initiate divorces in this country. I'm not shocked at that because Mel, he claims he was blindsided. He didn't really know what was going on, why she wanted to leave him, but she did. He didn't fight it. And Nicole says, well, you heartbroken? He says, yeah, I was heartbroken. So Nicole was asking details, even though she said she wanted a conversation. They do start having a conversation, but she's jumping in with her questions. Mel says the chemistry is there. You can't manufacture it. They start to kiss. I told you, I think he just wanted to get lucky with Nicole. Which he will anyway if you want to, Mel. I don't think she won that comedy show. He says, oh, you're right. They were right about the mouth and the mouth guard and the helmet. You remember that was one of Monica B's jokes. She said he was going to need a mouth guard to keep Nicole's tongue from down his throat. So they had a nice little dinner. They got to know each other a little more about their past marriages and Mel's divorce. That was Mel's only wife. He's been divorced one time. So Mel's looking for his forever. He gives her a rose. So that's the pre-rose ceremony. Nicole's laughing and they're just finishing up their dinner. Debbie's getting ready for her date. Debbie is the fitness instructor. The one has never married. I think she looks like Sabrina from Charlie's Angel. Trish 612 comes in. Hello. She says, hello, everyone. Thank you for coming in during the live. I appreciate that. So Mel is on his solo date with the next lady is Debbie. Debbie's getting ready. All the ladies are talking. They're excited about the solo date. Remember, she cried when she found out. And she's sitting in the chair. Someone's doing her makeup. They're giving her lashes. And also, I noticed Cheryl was curling her hair. Cheryl was the one that Cece said, okay, she went through a lot. That was the one whose son was kidnapped. Cece thought that meant red flags. Cheryl is a trip because, remember, I think she looks like Sabrina from Charlie's Angels. They had that kind of fine hair. I was going to say thin, but it's not thin. It's fine. There's a difference. So Cheryl is curling her hair. She is curling the mess out of that hair. Cheryl, I don't know. Are you a saboteur? Because that's a little too much heat for fine hair like that. It don't take all that to get them curls. Go back and watch that scene. So in the kitchen, all the ladies are talking about all the stuff you have to do to get ready as you get older. True. They say, well, you're young. It's just a lip and it's a shake and go. It's true. They're like, no, you got to do something. You need something for puffy eyes. They're joking. One of them has the puffy eye thing that she keeps in the freezer. Another one's like, oh, no, this is what I do. She has the 2 ice cube things she puts on her eyes. So they're funny. I like the group scenes. It shows the camaraderie. Even though they were getting a little catty when they were talking to Nicole, kind of chastising her. But I liked how Nicole stood on her square and was like, yeah, I took my alone time with Mel. It wasn't a long time though, Nicole. It was a pool party. But you can't get mad at Nicole. That's what they're there for. Trish 612 said, I'm going to watch, but she's trying to mess her up for that date. She's laughing. Make sure you pay attention to that scene and see if we think the same thing. So Debbie, the ladies, they're all joking. They're in there together. Debbie, I like the way production does these scenes. Debbie is out with Mel, and they're wondering, like, well, where are they going to take her? The beach? Some people guess the beach. They were like, no, they're going somewhere fancy. She was really dressed up. Mel and Debbie end up at a restaurant. It's a closed restaurant. They have a Michelin star chef. I think they said his name was Chef Lodi. So Chef Lodi is going to teach them to cook. Chef Ludo. Mel says he loves to cook. He cooks for those he loves. Chef Ludo was scruffy to me, y'all, but I guess he was a French based chef or something. He has a Michelin star, so that's really prestigious. Confessional Mel says Chef Lodi's creating this ambiance, and he thinks cooking can be, or maybe Debbie said this, cooking is very sensual and romantic. They're cooking French omelets. Now, breakfast for dinner, I would still be hungry, but okay. Deb and Mel, they're kind of teasing each other in the kitchen, tapping each other's bottom. Mel saying she's his type. And he hopes that outside the house, they can still do those fun stuff like this. So, Mel, is that what happened in your first marriage, that you weren't able to do the fun stuff? I don't know. Debbie says that she's feeling chosen. She's so excited about being together with Mel that she never thought that she would get to her age, and she's never even tried on a wedding dress. So I guess time just ran away from her. Back to the house with the ladies. The ladies are just sitting around. Confessional Cindy is saying, I'm just here with all the ladies. We're just thinking about and talking about Mel. That's how they started out, but they're really not. They're hanging out together. There's a loud knock on the door. Kathy and Susan, they were two popular ladies from season 1 of The Bachelor. So they were in competition for Gary. Luckily, they both lost because he married our poor little sweet Teresa, and they already divorced. And y'all, I saw online the other day, Gary, he snagged another one, talking about he get married again. So I don't know. I don't know if he's a con artiste, as Nene would say, or what's going on with Gary. But his DMs must have been full. He's pulling them in. So we got Susan and Kathy from last season. They have brought a bunch of pajamas, which I found really cute. The pajamas have Mel's picture on them. So they're like, oh, this is exciting. Kathy was a competitor from last year. She would always set herself up against all the women. She used to give poor Teresa heck up in that mansion. She's like, oh, I love what they've done with the mansion. She says, well, what's one more pretty lady? I can stick my suitcase in here. Don't be too sure that Kathy's just joking. She's a trip. Susan was the one, I remember liking her a lot. Very nice looking lady, short hair. She's from Jersey as well. Very direct and straightforward. So they give the pajamas, ask the ladies to put on the pajamas. They're sitting around in the living room. They're all talking, having a great time. They start this game where never have I ever take a little bit of ice cream. I can't remember if you haven't or if you have. Okay, so the first one is, I forgot who said it. Might have been the one whoever's been married twice. I think she just came off of a date. What was her name? I can't remember her name, but no, not Debbie. Debbie's on the date now. Nicole, the yoga instructor that likes to kiss. She said, never have I ever had sex with my ex-husband. Well, I have twice. So she eats ice cream. Jerry, never have I ever been a member of the Mile High Club. Jerry eats ice cream, y'all. Amy is shocked. I can't believe it. She said, Jerry is in church every Sunday. She reads the Bible every night. She's in the Mile High Club. Yeah, stop thinking church ladies aren't freaks. Some of them are, okay? They just don't tell y'all that because they're churchy. So we go back to Mel and Debbie at dinner. Debbie's talking to him. She's excited that she was chosen. And they're having an okay conversation, I guess. Kathy and Susan, meanwhile, back at the house with the ladies, they're advising all the ladies, make sure that you have your own experience with Mel. Don't pay too much attention to what everybody else is doing. We get Cindy in the confessional. I'm starting to wonder about Cindy. She is the one that was saying, I don't like Mel pursuing all these women as if they're not on the Golden Bachelor. And the premise of the show is for him to pursue these women and the women to pursue him and then him choose one. So she says, I'm having a hard time with it. And Kathy ends up telling her, don't worry about the rest of them experience. Take your time with him. Tell him your feelings. Kiss him. Now, Susan and Kathy are giving a lot of advice as far as make him your own, make the time with him your own, kiss him. Do y'all realize he's still got 10 something women left? She's like, who got the first kiss? They're saying Nicole got the first kiss. They're salty about that. So Debbie is at dinner saying some version of, God told me that you're my husband. Watch it, Mel. When I hear that just, my hair stands on end, y'all. So she said, and he's like, well, how did you get here? How did you get here? I never thought I'd be alone this long. I watched the first season of The Golden Bachelor, and I thought maybe I could do something like that. And then when I found out that you were the Bachelor and I'd already signed up, I just felt like God told me to come here at this time. So, okay. He gives her a rose before the rose ceremony. Will you accept this rose? Because he said he really enjoys her company and the time they spent. And they're a nice looking couple, but I don't know. He's like, so you made it to 65, you never got married? She confirms, yeah. We'll see, y'all. We'll see what's going to happen. She says, getting this rose symbolizing that there's hope, that I've never given up on finding love, even at this age. So we're going to have to watch Debbie. I thought Cheryl might be a problem as well, so, but we'll see. Those two. And Mel's personality, he likes the women that are more aggressive and more into him. Hence the joke that Nicole made. Like, I'm Mel, and I want you, and you, and you. I see it too. And I think it's from being in a career where the men are highly sought after. Because we know he was in the NFL. I kept saying 26 years, y'all, but then I couldn't find that. So don't hold me to that. But he had, let's say, a long-term career in the NFL, and now he's an attorney. So back at the house, the ladies are talking, they're joking. Susan said, because all you ladies have been alone so long, I got a gift for you. Yeah, she pulls out an adult toy. So what I thought was funny, Peg, she's a firefighter. She didn't know what it was. She was like, what is this? So she said it was a foot massager. And Susan was joking, yeah, it's a foot massager. So I don't like, is that a gag gift? I think that's a little intimate to give someone. I found it kind of insulting. Just because they're alone doesn't mean they're not getting it in, okay? So in a confessional, Jerry is saying, well, I love talking to Susan and Kathy. I told her to put my best foot forward. Amy runs up and says that she was told, Mel gets back to the house. Amy runs up there and says she was told that she's going to be more aggressive and kind of shoot her shot. And she kisses Mel. Mwah, mwah. He lets her kiss him. She's so little, it was funny. She was leaning up. And when he realized she wants a kiss, he did kiss her. Mel, you don't have to allow all these women to kiss you, you know. Cindy says, I'm second in line to kiss him because I don't want to go after all these women. This was a lot, y'all. We get Monica B in a confessional saying, did Susan give everybody the advice to kiss Mel? She said, if you can't beat them, join them. Monica B, you go ahead. I'm good. So they get to the rose ceremony. The rose ceremony, before they stand up and kind of wait for all their roses, they have all these little speed dates and mini dates. So Carol, we find out that Carol's shy. Okay, I didn't know this, but she's telling us this now. So she was given the advice to take your time with Mel, let him know, you know, this sets you apart, this, that, and the other. So she said, pulls him aside. He's like, okay, what do you want to tell me? So I guess maybe she pulled him aside on that premise. I need to talk to you. But it's speed dating, so anyone can pull him aside. They're sitting. She says, Mel, you know, I find you very handsome. Thank you very much. You're beautiful. That's Mel's go-to line. She said, Mel, you know, I find you very handsome. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, we got that. Y'all, this was so awkward. Carol, this was awkward. She says, I'm just fun. I want you to know I'm fun. He says, I can tell. I know you're fun. She said, well, I mean, sometimes things don't. I mean, for the shy girls, we get a confessional with her talking about, okay, I'm shooting my shot and doing all this for the shy girls. We go back with Carol and Mel, and she is telling him, I like you. I just want you to give it more time. And he says, okay. So this was awkward. Honestly, y'all, I thought she was going home. And then she says, sometimes slower is better. Mel agrees. He's smiling, laughing. She said, I'd like to go to a sporting event with you. He agrees. He says, yeah, that'll be nice. He asked her, what's your favorite team? She said, right now, it's the University of Michigan. So we find out that Mel went to the University of Michigan. And then he asked her, he starts kind of driving the conversation because usually he's a good listener. He'll sit back and listen. Well, how long have you been divorced? She says she's been divorced 5 years. She lost her mother during that same time frame. So she says that was the worst time in her life. And he identifies with that. Remember, he says during C-19, he then after that lost his father, and then his wife left him. So he has kind of a sense of identification with her based on that. Carol gets her kiss. So yay, Carol. Not me, because again, y'all know how I feel about all that lining up, kissing in a line. But She gets her kiss. She's excited. She joins the group. And she says, I got my kiss. And they were like, yay. These ladies are so funny, y'all. They have the camaraderie. That's so cute. Church 612 says, they act like they don't realize they're on a competition show. It's every woman for themselves. Don't take nobody's advice. Yeah. You know what's funny, Church? Church 612, last week, Cece was saying, one of the ladies was like, that's no sisterhood. And Cece's like, this is not sister wives. You're in competition. So Church is reminding them again this week, ladies, it's competition show. Y'all, that was Cindy in the confessional, kind of angry about all the ladies. So all the dates to me look kind of similar. They want to take him out and get a chance to kiss him. We get Amy over there with the group kind of joking. Y'all, Amy's a trip. And another reason, I couldn't be in a Mile High Club. I'm clean. I'm OCD. I can't do that in a dirty public bathroom. The ladies are cracking up. And Amy cooks and cleans for everybody. Remember that, y'all. This is going to come in handy later. So Cindy forgot. She says, Mel told her that you only have one life to live. And she asked Mel, well, what are you reading? He said something about a Picasso. I'm not sure. An art book. I don't know. Mel's a Renaissance man. Mel does a lot of things. So confessional Cindy says, I'm a smitten kitten. Now, remember, this is the one that wants the sisterhood. And she's also like, Nicole shouldn't have been kissing on Mel. They've all kissed on Mel. So she said, he's checking all the boxes. He's handsome. He's intelligent. He compliments me. During their date, Mel told her he liked her hair. Cindy does have pretty hair. She's one of the brunettes. So I think Mel does have a type, y'all. The blondes are very aggressive, but the type is usually like the one he chose, Debbie, the one that looks like Sabrina from Charlie's Angels. So yeah, we'll see what happened. They get to the ceremony part where they're all standing up, kind of waiting for the rose. Remember, he already gave a rose to Debbie during their solo date. And also Nicole, the yoga instructor, also already secured her rose. So he has 9 more roses to give out. I'll just tell y'all the names. So Nicole and Debbie already got theirs. He gives rose to Cindy. That was the one he was calling Cinderella. Kind of possessive one. This is going to be a trend. Peggy is the one with the Muppet that slapped him. She roasted the stuffing out of Mel. I thought that was funny. Roxanne gets one. Jerry, Cheryl, as y'all can tell, I don't have the pictures yet. Robin, Carol gets the final rose. Remember the shy lady, or she's saying she's shy now. This was new. This is the first episode we heard of this. But again, this is only the second episode. So, okay, Carol. She gets the final rose. The ones left on the shelf look dejected. Jesse Palmer, who is the host. I like Jesse, y'all. I found out he's Canadian. That tracks. Because he is so friendly. He really looks sad that 4 of the ladies got to go home. He said, I'm so sorry. If you didn't get a rose, that means you weren't chosen. Take a moment, please, and say your goodbyes. Now, these ladies all live together. They're on bunk beds. They cook together. They eat together. We find out it's Amy cooking and cleaning. Y'all, Amy didn't get a rose. Mel, did you hear Amy say that all these ladies, she cooks and cleans for everybody? And they agreed. Amy didn't get a rose. So what are y'all going to eat? So the ladies are hugging each other. They're wishing each other well. Mel says it gets harder as the days go by and I get to know more about every one of them. It gets hard to let them go. So Mel's kind of liking this harem lifestyle. So we hear a loud voice say, I'm not ready to leave. I have a connection to this man. I'm not going home. Amy goes home. I'm going to miss Amy, y'all. How could they do that production? Why didn't y'all convince Mel to let Amy stay? Amy was comic relief. Amy was cooking and cleaning for the house. Y'all, Monica B, I thought she won the roasting session. She roasted the stuffing out of Mel, y'all. I think Mel, I don't know. Mel, you didn't like that? And she's one of the sisters, too. So I think that, I don't know, Mel might have been like, I don't know. I can't hear this. I can't have this from her. Monica B gets in the confessional and says, I know my man will find me. I'm 62 years old. So she put it out there. She said, y'all getting the DM. She said, I'm 62 and my time for love is not over. I know that's right, Monica B. Exactly. I don't think I could do that lining up kissing. That's too much. Yeah, we're the same when it comes to that church 6 star. I can't do it. Sorry, that don't get her no rose. They better cook for themselves. No, I mean, it's on these shows, like the camaraderie part, it makes sense too, to keep the ones that are popular and this sort of thing. But I guess he wasn't connecting with Amy. And again, remember when the twins left her there, they were like, no take backs. So I don't know. I think that Amy might be a trip in that house. So we get Terry. Terry is the one with the puppet, the puppet that slapped him. She says she's made friends for life, and her puppet says never give up on love. Yeah, get out of here with this puppet. She was a dentist. She was a 71-year-old dentist. I don't care what nobody say. I think the 70-year-olds were too old for Mel. He slick sent Peggy home last week, and then now we get the other one out of here. So Andrew went home. She was 77. We see you, Mel. He's not screaming about 45 to 60, but he's doing what he do. Mel, we see you. So on the preview, they are going to have a wedding photo shoot. I don't love those. Debbie has never worn a wedding dress, and now the first time she puts one on is for a photo shoot. I don't like that. So for the preview, they have a wedding photo shoot. They get a beach photo shoot, which is going to be a trip. Mel's rolling in the sand with one of them, probably Nicole. I couldn't really tell. And the lady is like, oh my God, they're rolling in the sand and kissing. So y'all better get used to it. This is what it is. It's the Golden Bachelor. He's going to line y'all up and kiss you, and you could like it or not. And it's funny how they still jump in line. And then there's some type of medical event. We hear some kind of heavy breathing, like, whoop. So I don't know what's going on. Cece spoke to the other moderator. This was a good episode, y'all. It's a short episode. It's a regular link, because remember last week was a supersized link. This is the regular link. This is the Golden Bachelor. It's on ABC. It's on Wednesday nights, y'all. So I'm going to start working to do the review on Thursdays, because I watch it on Hulu, which kind of threw me off. So it is on TV Wednesday nights. And then you can catch it on Hulu any other time after that. And this was another good episode. Well, I'll give this like a 7. Not too much happened. The comedy club with Mel getting roasted to his face, I kind of love that. Okay, Troy 612 is going to catch up because it's getting good. Yeah, it's only 2 episodes in, so it's worth it. But everybody that joined me during Sandra P's Gen Extra live review of the Golden Bachelor, I appreciate you. Thank you. Go ahead and subscribe if you have not already. If you are Team Replay, thank you, Team Replay. I thank you so much when you come in after you leave a comment. Thank you. So just press the like button, go ahead and subscribe. And I will end with Cece saying, have a blessed week, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, the rest of your weekend, and have a blessed week. Goodbye. Thank you.